Hello folks, how are you doing? So if you ever have to go to High Court for any litigation, one of the first concern is how much you have to pay advocate fee, because High Court is the top court in a state. For you to know how much you have to pay, you also need to know what are the legal works involved in your case. So awareness is extremely important, otherwise you will be in a situation you don't want to be. Okay, you will end up with losing money, losing advocate, and so on. It's not good. So better be aware to avoid the unpleasant situations. So moving on, how does it look like your first visit to your advocate? He's going to ask you about the situation you are involved in, your legal issues. He'll get an idea in less than few minutes. You get a summary of it. He will assess internally how deep you are in trouble, in terms of your chances of success and failure, or your strength and weakness in your case. Are you in loss of money, or are you in loss of some situation where you have to go to the jail? Are you in a situation where you don't get a bail, and so on? So he internally check how deep you are in trouble. Okay. Then indirectly, he will also see how big is your pocket. Okay. After all this, he is going to definitely ask you a first payment advance. Okay. Now, do you have any idea what is this advance for? Okay. Most of the people simply obey the advocate and pay the money. They have no clue why they are paying the money. They have no clue why he is asking money, what kind of work he is going to give it to me. This first payment is not the final payment. Many people think, yes, I'm done with the payment, I don't have to pay anymore. No, it's not like that. You are going to see the roller coasters slowly and steadily later. So let's move on. So like I said, you definitely need to know what are the legal work involved in any case. Okay, if you typically see a civil case, these are the different phases of a case from start to the end. This is explained in detail in another video, so please go and watch the civil case stages video. Okay, so you'll understand how much effort is required by an advocate. Okay, so based on that you have to pay. Alright, so let's quickly go over this, you have to watch the other video to understand the effort involved. So you will not get any idea the depth of the work. I will just touch on the headlines. Okay, so the first payment he is collecting is for the case writing and submitting that case to the court, filing. It's called filing. There are online filing and offline filing. Offline means he has to go to the court and go to the counter, filing counter. Plus he also has to pay court fee, he has to pay DTP charge, and he has to file your wakalat or wakalatnama. All these are the first effort. So mostly the first advance payment goes here. Now once that is done, there will be a posting date every 3 months typically. Okay, so he has to appear there and update the judge on the progress of the case. And there is evidence filing, framing of issues, witness list and cross examination, and final hearing. So my point to you is, first understand the phases in detail, what are the effort involved. So for that you can watch my video. Then you need to ask him in the first meeting itself, what is the payment schedule, okay, when do I have to pay, what for I have to pay, what are the different stages in my case, and how much I have to pay for each case. You need to definitely ask him in advance so that you get an idea how much you have to spend for the entire case, okay. And he will be exposed also to tell the amount. And make sure you don't go alone, make sure you go with another person so that there is a person, the next person with you also listening to how much he is paying. So with the two of you meeting him clearly, he cannot simply change the words later point of time saying that I did not said you so and so, okay. That's another thing you need to do. Okay, so moving on. From my experience, I've seen in general the first advance is going to be 30,000 to 50,000 for a reasonably experienced advocate, say 10 years, 12 years. For a senior advocate, senior is a title given by High Court. You need to apply for that. Not you need to, sorry, the advocate has to apply for senior title, and for them it's definitely going to be starting at 50,000, okay. And there are advocates who collects 10,000 also, but it's an exception, okay. Say like if you have a local advocate who is helping you in your municipal court, he will give you a reference in High Court. That means they know each other, and if you go and meet him, you may get some fee discount. That's one reason. But the real fee discount happens when you really tell him what is your financial condition, how much you can afford, so and so. So in that case, he is going to ask you, okay, then tell me how much you can pay me the advance. So you tell them 5,000. Then he will be a little shocked, and he will definitely tell you, no, there's no way I can take your case with 5,000. I need minimum 10,000. So it goes like that, you know. So there are a few advocates. They are good people. You can see them in newspapers, etc. On those cases that are charged and discussed in media. Those are mostly human rights activists. They hopefully will charge you reasonable, especially if you are financially weak. If you are financially able, I will suggest you pay 30,000 or whatever, and give your suit to that person, because I clearly seen that when you pay entry level fees of 10,000, I seen that the dedication, the involvement of the advocate is not that excellent, okay, and which is not good, alright. But since if you really get involved in the case, track the case, go to the courtroom while he is present, and if you do all that extra effort, then he has to do some good work, okay. So paying low means you have to get involved more, okay. If you pay really good, the advocate will really get involved, and he present the case with a lot of dedication, okay. That's also there. So there's a lot of common sense here. Just because you paid 30,000 or 50,000, not always that involvement will be there. You need to track everything, okay. You need to give to the right advocate, okay. So overall expense for a writ petition, for example, that goes for in a year or two, you will be shelling out 1 lakh minimum, okay. And for high profile cases like POSCO, Munnar Resort, etc., the person involved will have to shell out 15 lakh on average, okay. Now moving on to the some unpleasant situations, alright. Now, like I told you, if you don't ask in the first meeting how much is going to be, what are the different phases of my case, how is the payment schedule, and all that thing, you will definitely run into issues where he will unexpectedly ask you a lump sum amount here and there. Okay, and then you get shocked. You are not happy. You will have some unpleasant talk with him. Then he'll say that, okay, you go to some other advocate, I'm going to release you, things like that. But he will not release you unless you clear his payment. And the new advocate typically in High Court will not accept you until the other person release you. Okay. Also, your complete petition set is with the current advocate. He's not going to give it to you, and all kinds of issues. Okay. And if the case is complete, and when you have an argument with him because he's asking you a lump sum amount, the judgment copy is with him. All right, you won't get it, but that's not a big issue these days, because these days judgment are available in PDF form in High Court website, so you can read it. That's not a big issue, but you don't want to run into this situation. But if you follow my direction, you will never have to run into this situation. Okay, I would not say never, at least I can say 90%. All right, you will be okay. So if you summarize the whole thing, I would say know your case, different phases, the work involved by the advocate, communicate your financial situation, know from him how much he needs, and tell your fees affordability, so and so, and all that I discussed, like fee structure, payment schedule, all that thing. Then once you've done that, keep your word. Okay, pay your advocate on time. All right, that's the key thing here. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. This is a disclaimer, please read. So I wish you all the best. You take care. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.